In today's most famous game, there exists a player who claims to be the great Demon King Diablo. And he was originally a game addict, always hiding in his room. But once, he was accidentally transported into the very game he was playing. Just when he was transported into the game, Diablo was kissed on the cheek by two beautiful girls. And to his horror, he realized that he had been transformed into a character in his game. Diablo realized that the tower he was standing on was the place to summon the summoned beasts in the game. And the elf girl and the cat girl were arguing over who summoned him. Diablo didn't know how to communicate with the other two girls because he had never talked to anyone before. But he could talk to others with the great Demon King's tone, so he ordered the two girls to shake hands and make peace. Even though they didn't want to, the two girls were forced to shake hands with each other, and on each of their necks suddenly appeared a slave collar for summoned beasts. Diablo noticed that the two girls had been trying to cast summoned beast taming magic on him. But on his body was equipped with a ring capable of reflecting magic, so the taming magic was reflected on the two girls. The elf girl's name is Shira, and the cat girl's name is Rem. And the two of them went to the tower to summon the summoned beast but accidentally summoned Diablo. The two girls took Diablo to a town near the border called Faltra. And just as she had just arrived at the inn, Shira suddenly said that Diablo was going to share a room with her, so the two girls continued to fight over who Diablo would share a room with. However, the innkeeper felt it was too troublesome, so she forced them to share a room together. And being able to live with a girl just now through space made Diablo extremely shocked. Right after that, a woman from the Mages Guild named Celestine suddenly approached Rem. And Diablo realized she was the one who created the city's shield while in the game. Diablo asked Celestine to help the girls remove the slave collar. But Celestine was also helpless because she had never encountered such a situation before. A mage who was traveling with Celestine named Gallic was extremely angry at Diablo's talkative attitude. But he couldn't talk without using the Demon King's voice, so Diablo had to play to the end and turn on the dog mode, calling him a worm. Celestine said that she came here today to check on Rem, and after Celestine left the inn, Diablo realized that Rem was hiding something. Because otherwise, someone of high authority like Celestine would never have come to see her. Diablo carried Rem straight into the room to question what the secret was, but seeing that Rem refused to tell, Diablo touched her ear, which irritated her. As it turned out, a demon king named Krem was being sealed inside Rem's body, so Celestine was looking for a way to get that demon lord out without endangering her life. Diablo said that he would find a way to help Rem expel the demon king Krem from her body. And when she heard that, Rem was deeply touched and cried, because everyone had abandoned her before when they heard that there was a demon lord sealed inside her. Right after that, Diablo was sitting outside in the courtyard when he accidentally ran into Gallic, who had just come back from drinking. And he scolded Diablo for still being angry at his arrogant attitude, so he summoned a level 30 fire dragon and ordered it to attack him. However, for a level 150 player like Diablo, this fire dragon was nothing more than a cheap gecko. So he easily blew the dragon away with a single magic blow, and Diablo declared to Gallic that he was the demon lord from another world. The next day, Shira and Rem took Diablo for a walk around this city to visit, and Diablo realized that in this world, besides humans, there are many other species. Rem revealed that she was originally a level 40 super summon, and meanwhile Shira hadn't measured her level yet. Everyone went together to Faltra City's guild hall to register as adventurers. Everyone would have their level checked by touching a mirror, and Shira was disappointed to find out her level was only 30. It was Diablo's turn to check the level when the mirror suddenly released a tremendous power. So the guildmaster Sylvie quickly appeared after sensing that power. Sylvie had been trying to find some quests that were befitting of Diablo's level, and she had given them a mission to defeat a great serpent in the woods outside the city. Diablo and the two girls quickly set off on that quest. And he asked why they didn't use teleport magic and go faster, but the two girls laughed because they thought that there was no magic like that in the world. After 5 hours of walking, their group also reached the forest. But before she could see the python, Shira suddenly sensed that someone was watching them, because the elves' observation ability was much better than other species. After being pointed out by Shira to the enemy's location, Diablo used a fire-type magic to sweep them away. And the two girls were surprised because they had never seen anyone use such powerful elemental magic. All the people hiding in the trees were soldiers from the Elf Kingdom, and Diablo and Rem were surprised to learn that Shira was their princess. These elves were sent here to bring Shira back on the orders of the Elf Prince. But she knows that her brother only wants her back to have a baby for him, so she decides never to return home again. When he saw Shira's determination, Diablo said that he wouldn't let anyone take Shira away, so the elf soldiers fired arrows at Diablo but couldn't make a single scratch. The captain of the other group of elves pulled out an arrow called Divine Wind to attack Diablo, and Diablo assumed that this arrow might do some damage to him. But unexpectedly, after being hit by that arrow, Diablo was still unharmed. Immediately afterwards, Diablo used a wide area magic to freeze the entire forest, and his terrible magic caused all the elven soldiers to lose their fighting spirit. As it turned out, it was Gallic who instigated the prince of the Elven Kingdom to ambush Diablo's group. And when he was threatened by Diablo, he ran out of the forest for his life. That night, while alone together, Shira hugged Diablo to thank him, but unfortunately Rem accidentally saw the love scene between the two of them. This time their group received a mission to deliver alcohol to the guards outside the city, but Rem didn't want to go on this mission, so Diablo would go with Shira. Just as he walked down the hall of the guild hall, a young man named Emil suddenly stopped Diablo. And he claims to be an ally of all the women in the world. Emil also thinks that Diablo is enslaving Shira and Rem to him, so he wants to challenge Diablo to a battle to the death to free the two girls. And when he was challenged by him, Diablo felt extremely excited. Emil used internal attack and charged at Diablo with an extremely powerful slash, but his attack was easily blocked by Diablo. Emil continued to use internal attack to launch the next attack towards Diablo, but Diablo dealt with Emil with a basic attack. However, Emil is still determined to defeat Diablo at all costs to rescue the two girls. So the two of them had to explain to Emil that they were betrayed by their own magic. And after knowing everything, he was happy again and forgave Diablo. Diablo and Shira had gone out to the city to deliver wine to the soldiers, but as she was going, Shira wanted to jump into the river to take a shower. And she lamely hugged Diablo, making him unbearably high. As soon as he arrived at the wine delivery place, soldiers surrounded Diablo thinking he was a demon, but fortunately one soldier recognized him as the one sent here by the Adventurers Guild. Diablo wondered when he saw a lot of people running across the bridge guarded by the soldiers, so they informed Diablo that an army of 100 demons was about to attack the bridge. However, Faltra City was protected by Celestine's barrier, so even if they crossed the bridge, they wouldn't be able to enter the city. Facing such a large army of demons, the soldiers here would only have to die, so Diablo decided that he would help them defeat the demon army. Right after that, a spear-wielding girl named Edelgard led the demon army close to the bridge they were standing on, and Diablo told everyone to go into the city so that he could fight them alone. Meanwhile, Celestine informs Rem that Gallic has been kicked out of the Sorcerers Guild for endangering Rem. But as they were talking, Gallic suddenly burst into the inn, and Gallic said that Celestine sending him out was unfair to him. Gallic pulled out a strange knife and stabbed himself with it, and that knife caused his body to be completely replaced by a demon named Gregor. Diablo was now quite tired after defeating more than 30 demons on the bridge, and seeing that Diablo was a strong enemy, Edelgard decided to fight him himself. Gregor tricked Gallic into infiltrating Faltra City, and his goal was to take out Celestine to destroy the barrier protecting the city. So Rem had to quickly get Celestine to flee from his pursuit. However, the two of them accidentally ran into a dead end, so Gregor caught up with them. And Rem summoned a three-horned goat and ordered it to attack him, but he easily defeated that goat with a single punch. Soon after, Emil quickly appeared to protect the two girls, and adventurers present in the city also came here to fight Gregor. Emil used internal attack and used a melee attack to attack him, but his attack wasn't enough to scratch the demon's itch. And he used magic bullets to shoot dust bags at Emil, causing him to be seriously injured. Diablo and the female demon Edelgard were still fighting in the presence of everyone, and Diablo guessed that Edelgard's strength was around level 80. Knowing that it would not be easy to defeat Diablo, Edelgard decided to use it, a killing blow. And she rushed to attack Diablo with devastating attacks, but unexpectedly her attack only caused Diablo to feel a little pain. However, everyone panicked when they received the news that Celestine was being attacked by Gregor, so Diablo decided to use a powerful blow to end this battle. And he used magic to create a huge explosion that enveloped the entire area. His attack destroyed the bridge, and also wiped out the entire demon army. But somehow Edelgard was lucky to survive that attack. Diablo immediately used traditional magic to teleport back to the city, and Emil and the adventurers were now completely defeated by Gregor. Fortunately, Diablo teleported back to the city in time to save them. Diablo informed Gregor that the entire demon army had been wiped out by him, and that Gregor tried to attack Diablo but received counter damage. Diablo used magic bullets to shoot dust bags at Gregor, leaving him breathless, and he used a gravity spell to crush his body. After experiencing Diablo's overwhelming power, Gregor begged him to spare his life, but he didn't want to forgive Gregor because he had killed so many innocent people. So he used a magic to imprison him in the dark dimension forever. Finally, the fierce battle with the demon army ended, and Rem suddenly burst into tears and thanked Diablo for appearing in time to save her. But Diablo said that she was in his possession, so it was only natural to save her. The people of the city held funerals for the adventurers who died while fighting Gregor. But they still have to overcome this sadness to start rebuilding the city. Due to the excessive use of his strength, Diablo had to lie in bed for 10 days straight, but not long after resting, he received news that the Elf Kingdom had just declared war on Faltra City. Sylvie reveals that Shira's brother wants to bring her back to him at any cost, so the lord of the city wants Diablo to hand her over to him to prevent war. However, Diablo didn't want Shira to be taken away by her bastard brother, so Sylvie took everyone to meet the lord of the city to settle the matter. And Sylvie also said that the lord had once defeated an army of demons like Diablo by himself. Right after that, everyone went to see the lord of Faltra City named Galford. And Diablo had to do his best to be able to speak normally with him. Galford had informed everyone that the elf army was currently stationed outside the city. And he had asked Diablo to settle this matter peacefully without bloodshed. But for a man who could not speak like him, negotiation was completely impossible. However, to settle this matter, the capital sent a female royal knight named Alicia. And as soon as she met her, she quickly became close to everyone. So Diablo found her to be the type of person who could communicate much better than him. Diablo said that he needed to buy some weapons to prepare for the war with the elves. And he went to the weapon shop to buy himself a giant sickle. As soon as they left the weapon shop, someone threw a smoke bomb at everyone. And Shira was taken away by two rabbit men who appeared out of nowhere, so everyone recognized them as bounty hunters sent by her brother. The comrades of the other two rabbits also quickly appeared to block everyone's way. But Diablo along with the other two girls easily dealt with all of them. Immediately afterwards, Diablo ran at full speed to chase after the two rabbits that were taking Shira away. And it only took a moment for him to catch up with the two of them, but Emil suddenly appeared and defeated the other two rabbits to free Shira. Emil says he can smell women in trouble, and he will teach the bounty hunters to be more polite with women. Diablo promised that he would never let Shira be taken away again, so Shira asked to hold Diablo's hand so that Diablo could better protect her. Alicia apologized to Diablo for not being able to fulfill her responsibility to protect Shira. But Diablo said that a demon king like himself didn't need help, so he didn't blame Alicia for the mistake just now. While they were talking, everyone suddenly heard Alicia's stomach growl from hunger, so they quickly brought her back to the inn to eat. As soon as they arrived, Celestine informed everyone that a slave trader had just arrived in the city. And she believed that the owner of that merchant company might know how to untie Rem and Shira's bondage. Everyone quickly headed to the slave market that had just been set up in the city. And Diablo was worried that he would have to see the slaves being tortured in here, but it seems that the owner of this trade company treats the slaves quite well. The owner of this caravan was a beautiful middle-aged woman named Medios. And just met, Medios realized that Diablo had an extremely terrible power, because she had the ability to see the flow of magic in other people's bodies. Medios also saw Demon King Krem's mana in Rem's body, but Shira thought that Rem had a child with Diablo. Rem asked permission to go out because he didn't want Medios to know his secret. And knowing that Rem was having something on her mind, Alicia also went out to cheer her up. Meanwhile, Medios is teaching Diablo how to untie Shira's necklace, but this seems to give Diablo a bit of a heart attack. In order to remove the slave collar, Diablo would have to feel the flow of Shira's magic, but in the end Diablo had to give up because he couldn't do it. Rem and Shira wondered which room Alicia would sleep in tonight, but luckily Alicia rented the next room to stay. While everyone was talking, they suddenly heard a flute outside the door, and the one playing the flute was Shira's brother named Kira. Diablo quickly stepped forward to threaten Kira, knowing he was here to take Shira away, but he did not expect him to speak to everyone in a very polite manner. And he also said that he had no intention of going to war with the human kingdom. However, people still didn't believe that Kira's words were true, so they asked him to let Shira freely choose her path. Kira also agreed to leave Shira free to decide whether or not to return home, and that he would return the next day to hear her answer. That night, seeing Shira standing in contemplation, Rem went to confide in her. And she said that no matter what, she didn't want to go back home. Shira had always dreamed of opening a coffee shop with her friends, and Diablo and Rem were the first two friends she met after leaving home, so wherever the two of them were, that place is home for her. The next morning, upon awakening, Diablo found himself suffocated by Rem and Shira, and Rem and Alicia would go out to report the situation to Lord Galford. While at home with Shira, Diablo pulled out a bunch of tools to make healing potions, and Shira kept sitting in front of Diablo, making it impossible for him to concentrate on work. But it was unexpected that he could make potions at an extremely fast speed when he was distracted. The sound of Kira's flute sounded once again, causing Shira's eyes to become lifeless, and Shira suddenly said that she wanted to return to the Elven Kingdom with her brother. Diablo was surprised to hear those words come from Shira's own mouth. And Kira had a carriage waiting outside to take her with him, but facing a situation like this, Diablo didn't know what to do. After letting Rem and Alicia know about it, Diablo sadly went into his room to sleep. And he couldn't understand why Shira had made such a sudden decision, because last night she was determined not to return home with Kira. However, Rem suggested that there was a possibility that Shira had been hypnotized by Kira's spell, and Diablo had also realized that the hypnotic magic was derived from his flute, so Diablo decided to go to the rescue. Shira escaped from her brother. Meanwhile, Kira brought Shira back to the elves' camp and tied her hands, and he revealed that he used the elf's magic flute to hypnotize her. Right after that, Kira released a slime that had the ability to corrode fabric and let it crawl on Shira's body. Fortunately, Diablo, along with the remaining two girls, quickly arrived in time to save her. Kira panicked when he saw that all of his soldiers were completely defeated by Diablo. And Diablo wanted to hear Shira's honest decision one more time, so Kira continued to use hypnosis to make her obey his orders. However, Diablo ordered Shira not to let herself be hypnotized, and the slave's necklace glowed and released her from the hypnosis completely. Kira was furious when he saw that his plan was foiled by Diablo, so he used the magic item to summon a giant hydra, which he ordered the monster to that attacked him with the girls. This was the monster that had guarded the throne for the elf royal family for generations. And Diablo used an earth-type spell to blow off one of the monster's heads, but the monster was able to regrow its head extremely quickly. Diablo was blown away by the Hydra with a wind-type attack because he was unable to counter elemental magic. And Diablo had never seen a summoned beast that used up to 2 skills, but the monster continued to launch another type of elemental attack at Diablo. The Hydra had rampaged wildly to Kira's delight, and Shira informed Diablo that the Hydra's weak point was a core inside its body. But this core is constantly moving, so it is not easy to destroy the core. However, Diablo didn't care about that weakness and unleashed a lightning strike on the Hydra. He blew the Hydra's entire body back to dust. After dealing with the Hydra, Diablo decided to deal with Kira as well, but Shira stopped Diablo because he was her brother after all. However, Kira was about to flee the forest when someone took his life, and it turned out that Galford and his soldiers were invisible and watched them from start to finish. Galford wanted to take this opportunity to invade the elves' kingdom, and he had to wait until Diablo defeated their Hydra. Galford imprisoned Diablo inside a magical cage used to trap summoned beasts. And Alicia was about to fight when Galford broke her sword with lightning speed, so Diablo realized he was beyond the level of a normal human. Diablo tried to feel the magic flow of the cage that was holding him, and after finding the source of the cage's magic, he easily destroyed it. Diablo said that he would stop Galford from invading the Elven Kingdom, and Galford charged at Diablo with a terrifying speed. Diablo had placed a trap at Galford's feet to make him stop the attack. And Diablo had placed a series of traps at his feet to make him unable to attack. Diablo used an ice-type spell to free Galford, but he easily broke the ice and charged at Diablo, so he had to cast an extremely powerful melee spell to blow him away. Galford was severely injured after receiving Diablo's blow just now. But Diablo still didn't take Galford's life because he despised him for being too weak for him, so he ordered all of his troops to withdraw from the forest immediately. When it was all over, Rem asked Diablo for some healing potion to give to the wounded elves. And despite her hatred for Kira, Shira was still deeply saddened when she saw him killed with her own eyes. Due to the excessive use of mana, Diablo had to rest for several weeks, and Sylvie brought a bottle of foreign wine with the ability to restore mana to drink with him. Diablo didn't know his own alcohol tolerance because he had never drunk alcohol. But as soon as he finished taking a sip, he was so drunk that he didn't know what to do. Having just returned to the capital, Alicia met a knight named Saddler, and he was a fanatic who hunted down demon lord worshippers. Saddler said that in the near future he will also go to Fortress City to work, because the church has detected signs of the demon lord about to resurrect near that place. After watching the instructions, Shira summoned a fat bird, and this bird had the ability to link its vision to its owner. Shira felt the bird's skill was quite useless, but Shira still wanted to make a contract with the bird because it was her first summoned beast anyway. Diablo suddenly threw a coin into the forest and told Shira to send the bird to find the coin. And Shira was amazed that she could see what the bird saw. After finding the coin, Diablo told Shira to try and take shelter. And thanks to the bird's vision, she was able to easily shoot it at a great distance. Right after that, Shira suddenly smelled a bad smell on Remdu, who hadn't bathed in a long time. So she suggested that they all jump into the river to bathe together for fun, but Diablo was too embarrassed, so he ran out and hid in a corner. However, while the two of them were taking a bath, Edelgard suddenly approached Rem, as Edelgard sensed the demon lord Krem being sealed inside her. After learning about it, Shira hugged Rem because she thought she was carrying a huge responsibility. And Edelgard said that he would teach them the ritual to expel the Demon King Krem from Rem's body. But that ritual won't cause any harm to her life. Not wanting to miss this opportunity, everyone accepted Edelgard's help, and Diablo wanted to be able to defeat the Demon King himself after he was resurrected. As soon as she returned to the city to eat, Alicia immediately went to everyone's place. And she warned them that the Saddler was in this city. Saddler was a fanatic who never forgave anyone involved with the Demon Lord. And meanwhile, Diablo always claimed to be a demon lord from another world, so Alicia wanted him to hide in the house for a while. However, on their way to the inn, they accidentally encountered Saddler with his men. And as expected, Diablo accidentally revealed himself as the Demon King from another world. So Saddler decided to purge everyone for his involvement with the Demon Lord. Saddler's eyes suddenly lit up, making Rem feel like he couldn't breathe. And he said that was the punishment that the gods sent down the followers of the evil way. But Diablo discovered that there were no gods, and that he was using magic to strangle her. Saddler continued to use his eye to attack Diablo, but his magic was reflected by Diablo, causing him to be instantly turned to stone. And according to Diablo, it took more than a day for his body to return to normal. That evening, Rem said that she also wanted to reveal her secret to Alicia. And after learning that secret, Alicia decided to follow along to support everyone. But Diablo got the feeling that this salty situation seemed a bit artificial. That evening, everyone went to the summoning tower to meet Edelgard, and Rem mentally prepared to perform the ritual to expel the demon lord from her body. Diablo would have to transfer power into Rem's body to pull the Demon King out. But Edelgard still felt that Diablo's method would take a lot of time. So Edelgard said that if he wanted to pull the Demon King out faster, he should do it. Use the hole in her body. Although it seemed a little embarrassed, Rem still agreed to let Diablo do it Edelgard's way. And after trying for a while, Diablo was able to quickly pull the Demon Lord out of Rem's body. Everyone was surprised to see the resurrection of Demon King Krem, but that huge Demon King suddenly turned into a little girl. Diablo had boldly declared that he would defeat this little Demon King Krem, so she unleashed her full strength to threaten him. However, Krem suddenly couldn't remember how to fight, and she didn't even know what a Demon Lord would do. Realizing that Krem may have lost her memory after being sealed inside Rem for a long time, everyone took the opportunity to advise her to turn back. And after being enlightened by everyone, she decided not to destroy the world anymore. When she saw that Krem seemed hungry, Shira gave her a cookie. And this was her first time eating something this delicious, so she changed her goal to eat all the cookies in the world. Everyone had taken Krem out of the summoning tower to return to the city, but just a short distance away, a demon suddenly flew in front of them. And he was the strongest mage of the demon race sent here to greet the Demon King. However, when he learned that the Demon King Krem had changed, he assumed she was a faulty Demon King, so he decided to destroy her and summon another Demon Lord. But Edelgard stopped him because she was only loyal to the Krem. Due to the difference in strength, Edelgard was easily defeated by that demon mage. And Diablo used a magic attack on him to rescue her. The demon mage moved at a tremendous speed to get close to Diablo and attack him, but his magic was reversed by Diablo's ring. This demon realized that Diablo's anti-magic power belonged to the previous demon lord. Knowing that Diablo could not be defeated, the demon left right after that. And everyone has brought Krem into the city to let her eat cookies to her heart's content. But in the meantime, the Saddler is planning to take revenge on their group. The next day, the girls happily sang together and took Krem to eat cake. But when she saw this scene, it seemed like Alicia felt extremely uncomfortable. Diablo had told Celestine the whole story of Demon King Crem's resurrection. And seeing that she only liked to drink tea and eat cookies, Celestine wasn't too worried. On the way back to the inn, Diablo suddenly couldn't see Creme and Rem anymore, because Alicia dragged the two of them inside an alley with her. Alicia felt unsatisfied with a Demon King who didn't know how to wreak havoc like the current Clem. And up until now she had only pretended to be friends with Diablo's party, since her main purpose was to free the Demon King to slaughter all of humanity. They were standing talking when Saddler suddenly appeared in the back, so Alicia quickly blamed Rem as a demon lord so he could take her away. Rem had no choice but to summon the summoned beast to fight him, but he let the guards hold the summoned beast and then brutally slaughtered it. Rem rushed to attack Saddler but was immediately restrained by him. And in the meantime, Diablo was still rushing to find Rem and Clem everywhere. The two of them had been transported somewhere by Saddler in a carriage. And with her strength, Clem can destroy Saddler's people very easily, but Rem does not want Clem's hands to be stained with blood, but just wants her to happily eat cookies. Saddler took the two of them to a church on the outskirts of the city, and Alicia provoked Rem into asking for help from Clem. But she is adamant that she will never let Clem slaughter others. Alicia left the two of them to Saddler and left shortly after. And during this time, Diablo ran to the guild to ask everyone to find Rem with him. However, for a long time, he always spoke in a dog-like demonic voice, so now Diablo didn't know how to ask. Fortunately, a boy saw Rem being taken away by Saddler and his horsemen in the afternoon, and after learning about it, Diablo immediately ran to save her. The Saddler was now torturing Rem in a very brutal way in front of Clem's witness. But Rem was still determined not to ask for her help. Seeing Clem keep cursing at him, Saddler went to cut her down. And when he realized that she was a demon, he panicked. Saddler slashed Clem again, but Rem jumped to block it. After the witness caused Rem to be injured like that, the girl went mad and quickly returned to her true form. Seeing Clem in Demon King form, Saddler panicked and used his eye, but Clem destroyed Saddler's eye and blew him back to dust. Everyone in the city panicked at the sight of Clem's power, and Diablo gave Shira some healing potion to save Rem while fighting Clem himself. Upon hearing the news of the Demon King's awakening, Edelgard, along with the Demon Mage, led an army close to Faltra Citadel. And Alicia also sided with the demons to destroy the humans. Lord Galford had led all of his men to the wall to get ready to fight the demons. Meanwhile, Celestine was reinforcing the city's magical defenses. Diablo and Clem were having a fierce battle inside the city of Faltra, but Clem's magic attacks were all repelled by Diablo. Shira reached Rem and quickly gave her a healing potion. And after drinking a lot of medicine, Rem was finally able to regain consciousness. Knowing that magic couldn't do anything to Diablo, Clem threw a bunch of rocks at him, and Emile also ran here to support Diablo. While running around the church grounds, Diablo placed a magic formation at his feet, and he summoned a great magic with all the natural elements to strangle Clem. But even taking such a powerful blow, Clem was still able to move. Right after that, Rem and Shira appeared right in front of Clem, and when she learned that Rem was still alive, she regained her composure and escaped from the Demon King's form. The demon was once again enraged by the defeat of Edelgard along with Alicia. And Sylvie found out that Clem Maine was a Demon King with boundless power, so she couldn't let Clem roam freely in the city like that. However, Diablo offered Clem to become a slave under his control. And Clem really wanted to be in the city to eat cookies with everyone, so she agreed to become Diablo's slave through a kiss. That night, everyone was preparing to rest when Shira was suddenly caught by Alicia. And due to the failure to revive the Demon King, the Demon Mage pursued her along with Edelgard. Although the two managed to escape, Edelgard was badly injured, so Alicia wanted to ask Clem to use her magic to heal her. At her plea, Diablo agreed to let Clem heal Edelgard. And Alicia said that she herself had witnessed so many bad things happening in this kingdom, that she thought of allying with the demons to destroy the humans. Alicia wanted to use her death to apologize in front of everyone, but Diablo stopped her and used clairvoyance to make her understand that death is not the end. The people of Faltra City were finally able to regain their peaceful life. And Diablo will continue his adventure with these two beautiful teammates. Thank you for watching the full video review. I will leave other videos of the channel here. And don't forget to press the subscribe button along with the bell button to receive notifications when the channel releases new video.